What exactly makes up the best antagonist? Adversary, bad guy, villain? I'd say the best representation of an antagonist is the first stereotypical thought we all have when we hear the word villain, an opposer of a hero's beliefs. Superhero stories have shaped the way people like you and me view this word, and that's because of how well supervillains portray the role of an antagonist. And these villains represent the 8 things that make for the best antagonist writing, like with Homelander and his menacing aura.
Oh, please. Oh, God, oh, God.
No. No God. The only man in the sky is me.
Homelander's presence is one that's feared by pretty much every character in The Boys. His ruthless and diabolical actions surround him with an aura that dictates to everyone around him that he's a force to be reckoned with, leaving an eerie feeling that effectively strikes fear in the hearts of us and our protagonists. Him being the representation of what a hero as powerful as Superman would be, as an antagonist multiplies his dangerous aura, and is exactly why that menacing aura is an essential component that make up the best antagonist. But Magnito and his impact on the story is the second essential part of an antagonist.
But the scariest thing about Genosha wasn't the death or the chaos. It was a thought. The only sane thought you can have when being chased by giant robots that were built to crush you. Magnito was right.
Magneto's tight relation to the story and characters of X-Men is something that's made him a great villain. A perfect example is his character in X-Men 97, where despite Magneto's desire for mutant supremacy and protection, he decides to lead the X-Men in hopes of carrying on the dreams of a dead Professor Xavier. The large and influential impact of his character's beliefs on the story and plot is what makes him such a significant and memorable villain, easily one of the best components of an antagonist. Now, Joker, with his originality and unpredictability, is another essential part of an antagonist.
Give me one reason why I shouldn't have my boy here pull your head off.
How about a magic trick? I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. It's gone.
The Joker character is truly incredible, having terrible and unhinged actions that represent his character. For this, I'll use Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight. The best Joker adaptation. Joker made his mark on The Dark Knight with his unpredictable actions throughout the story. From threatening to kill a citizen, everyday Batman doesn't reveal his identity to Gotham, to making Batman choose between his love or Gotham's public hero, to threatening to blow up a hospital if a random civilian isn't dead within 60 minutes. All the way to handing detonators to a ferry with civilians and a ferry with criminals, with each holding the detonators of the bomb on the other ferry. And the unpredictability of an antagonist is how a villain like Joker built up fear and hatred in the hearts of Gotham's police, citizens, and Batman himself. But a villain like Thanos, having compelling clear goals, also creates a compelling antagonist.
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
Thanos had the goal of wiping out half of all life in the universe, at every level, to stabilize the amount of the universe's supply of resources being used. Despite the view of the Avengers and the rest of the universe's survivors on Thanos' act of genocide, it's a rather relatable goal that's actually not so bad, making Thanos' clear goals a means for us viewers to relate with, understand, and see things from his perspective. An aspect that makes up the perfect antagonist closely related to clear goals is Garou's complex characterization.
I'm gonna be killed simply because that's what everyone else wants? It's not fair. I can't stand it. Pisses me off. All I want is to make them understand. I'm here to fight for underdogs everywhere. Good, evil, I reject them both.
Garou from One Punch Man is an absolutely compelling take on the characterization of a villain. His being bullied as a child gave him a rather harsh perspective on oppression in society and led him to have a morally gray view of heroes and monsters. He questions the conventional hero narrative, believing that monsters, who are often defeated and marginalized, deserve sympathy. He understood that even monsters had their own reasons to fight. This complex belief that Garou has is one that massively challenges the thematic message underlying the story of One Punch Man, which is what makes complex characterization a key factor of writing the best antagonists. But Reverse Flash and his dynamic with the protagonist is another aspect of the best villain.
Fate. Fate's tricky, isn't it? I come here to destroy you, and then to get home I have to be the one who creates you.
Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash. His battle with the Flash is one that spans across multiple timelines, across multiple time periods. His character starts with the intent to kill Barry Allen, to training him up to become the Flash so he can get back to the future, only to once again attempt killing him. His persistence and constant entanglement with the Flash is what makes him such an important and prominent part of the Flash's story. Reverse Flash's peculiar and interesting dynamic with the Flash keeps us invested in him and all he's doing. That's ultimately key to creating the best villain. I'd say the same thing about Shigaraki, having a high power level. A compelling villain within a story should have more power in comparison to that of the main characters. The Shigaraki and All for One combination is a perfect example of a villain higher in terms of power to the main characters. Shigaraki is a vessel holding multiple quirks through All for One's power. He's far stronger than the heroes tasked with taking him down, as the only one who can stop him is our protagonist Midoriya, who possess One for All but is too inexperienced with the power to successfully apprehend Shigaraki. The sheer difference in power between Shigaraki and All for One, and the multitude of heroes trying to stop him, is an all too important component of the best antagonist. And an aspect of the best antagonist that's last but most certainly not the least is Omni-Man's moral ambiguity.
Everyone and everything you know will be gone! What will you have after 500 years?
You, Dad. I still have you.
Omni-Man is undoubtedly an exceptional antagonist. His perception of the morals on right and wrong is one of the best ever executed, and it's portrayed beautifully through his character development. Omni-Man develops as a character through Invincible's refusal to conquer Earth. The fact that in almost all other dimensions Invincible joins Omni-Man in taking over Earth shows just how thin the line of good and evil he threads on is. His moral ambiguity being faced with his beliefs and customs, in contrast with his love for his family, makes Omni-Man's redemption arc worthwhile. The reason redemption arcs work is because stories are able to efficiently portray the moral ambiguity of an antagonist. This moral ambiguity strengthens viewers' bond and knowledge of an antagonist. These components are the fundamentals that make up the best antagonist. Check out these shorts for more examples of good or bad antagonist writing. Until next time.